Now that we all know about the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, better known as Black Wall Street, it is important that we know who were the people that shaped it, built it, and sustained it. It is important that we keep their names alive and celebrate them often, so we don't lose our history and we give our children their true history. With that being said, this is the story of power couple Lulu and John Williams. Many black entrepreneurs built Black Wall Street, but none was more beloved by the community than Lulu and John Williams. Lulu and John were amongst the first residents of Greenwood. They were the first couple to own a vehicle. They built an auto shop, rooming houses, a confectionery aka a candy store, and the renowned Dreamland Theater. In Memphis, Tennessee, Williams met her future husband, John Wesley Williams. He worked at the Illinois Central Railroad. She was a teacher. In 1905, they were expecting child, and Lulu did not want her baby born in a white hospital. Understandable, since America was extremely racist, and whites could not be trusted with the well-being of blacks. So Lulu and John moved to Arkansas, where there was a black hospital. Lulu gave birth to their son, William Danforth Williams, on March 15, 1905. Historically, Jim Crow segregation divided Tulsa, creating an opportunity for black entrepreneurs. Since black Tulsans were unwelcome at Tulsan businesses, they spent their money in Greenwood, serving as a haven to purchase local products and support black businesses. In 1909, John worked with the Thompson Ice Cream Company, but quickly resigned and established his auto repair garage, Williams One-Stop Garage. The company served anyone, black or white customers, from all over Tulsa. The Williams family continued to prosper economically, becoming the first automobile owners in Greenwood. John purchased a brand new Chalmers 30-pony tonneau, known for its 30-horsepower, inclined four-cylinder engine. The vehicle included a 3-speed manual transmission and comfortable leather seats, and went up to 50 miles per hour. During the 1900s, the car cost $1,600, roughly estimated at $53,000 today. Newspapers credited John for establishing Greenwood's most famous business, even referred to as the Negro Rockefeller by the Tulsa world, for his bold ideas and risks that cultivated his success. However, when Williams attempted to purchase the lot that became Dreamland, it was his and Lulu's name on the land. The Dreamland became a community fixture by the end of the decade when Lulu owned it outright. Lulu signed an affidavit that concluded that she solely owned the theater, while John independently owned the East End garage. During the 1900s, women played the supportive role to their husbands, not seen as equal to them. As women worked in domestic households, their jobs revolved around catering to their husbands and providing for their families. However, Lulu had other plans, as she was not interested in remaining in John's shadow, proving that she too could become a successful female business entrepreneur. After working as a teacher, Lulu decided it was time for a career change, where she used the money she made from teaching to open a corner store in Tulsa in 1909, which she called the Williams Confectionery. The confectionery became the top hangout spot for teens and young couples, with candy, popcorn, ice cream, beverages, and many more sugary treats. With the rise in entrepreneurship, the Williams continued to improve their businesses and received support from their neighbors. After the confectionery became a hit, Lulu decided to establish her movie theater. In 1914, she opened Williams Dreamland Theater. She bought the property, like the confectionery, under her maiden name and owned it herself. The theater sold tickets for 15 cents and had a seating capacity of 750 people. In 1914, the Tulsa Star published a booster edition profiling Oklahoma's leading black entrepreneurs. Lulu and John each received a separate profile, as the paper referenced her as unquestionably the foremost businesswoman of the state, among Negro women, starting in a small corner of Tulsa. With comparatively small capital saved from her job as a country school teacher, she has, by close attention to business, builded step by step by today. She has a business running $1,200 to $1,500 per month, conducted in her 3-story brick building which is strictly modern in all appointments, and besides an account in the bank, has a credit rating of 10,000. By the tone of this article you tell Lulu was loved. Lulu also went by Lulu or her nickname, Cotton. Another article wrote, her judgment in matters of business is equal to that of the most experienced businessmen, and for this reason, she has made few mistakes. Also, in this article, people sung the praises of Lulu Cotton Williams. On the night of the massacre, the Dreamland Theater was in the middle of showing a film when customers heard about the chaos and began fleeing the scene to see what was happening. Henry Souders, the white projectionist at the theater, was informed to stop the movie and turn on the lights. Within minutes, hundreds of people evacuated the theater. Whites began attacking and damaging the beautiful Greenwood community, destroying the prosperous town that blacks worked hard to make successful. They set fire to over 1,200 homes, several churches, and more than 200 businesses. Despite the significant loss in revenue and damages businesses suffered, insurance companies were unwilling to provide compensation for the massacre. Luckily, the family had income from the two out-of-town movie theaters in Okmulgee and Muskogee. Greenwood business owners, like the Williams, never fully recovered from their losses. However, they were able to rebuild the Williams building in 1922. In 1922, the Williams Dreamland Theater was rebuilt. But unfortunately, the Tulsa Race Massacre affected many black entrepreneurs, such as the Williams, as they could never get back to the level of prosperity before the massacre. In September 1927, Lulu passed away, and John died in January 1940. William, their son, graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in 1922. He earned his bachelor's degree in business from Hampton Institute in Virginia and met his wife, Mary Robison. They returned to Tulsa in 1928, where he taught for 42 years at his former high school, then retired in 1960. Together, the couple had 2 children, Anita and David. Like father, like daughter, Anita graduated from Booker T. Washington and then Hampton Institute in Virginia, where she became the first African-American woman in America to graduate with a doctorate in optometry. For more than 50 years, Anita went on to practice her work in Tulsa before passing away in January of 2019. In 2007, Anita and David teamed up with the Smithsonian Museum to pay tributes to their grandparents, sharing an extensive collection of artifacts and photographs. Despite the massacre that attempted to belittle the spirits of black people, it did not destroy the Greenwood community, especially not John and Lulu Williams. The resilience and prosperity the couple endured during and after the massacre will forever be treasured, as they are amongst the most significant founders of Black Wall Street.